Hi, good evening everyone. We'll wait to see all your faces. Maeve is now not sideways. There we go. Fion's in the house. Tarnesh ready to go. Sam's there. Ching's there. Jess is in. Mr. Williams is in. All right. So good evening everyone, and welcome to a whole new week. Hopefully our very, very last week of Zoom classes, weather permitting. Okay, so the deal is, the moment we're just in the last stages of working out insurance details with the school that we'll be working with. We'll be outdoors on AstroTurf hopefully from Monday next week. Full details, we need to have the deal locked down with the school before we send you out the full details, but hopefully over the next 2 days we'll get all of that done. That being the case, we can be outdoors next week. There'll be some explaining in terms of how we're going to make it all happen, how it's all going to work, but I'll get that out to you over the next few days. Big thing for today is we're going to have a little bit of a focus on some technical stuff and some basic hand movement and transitions and sine wave, just for the first few minutes as kind of our warm-up as well. And then we're going to get into some physical stuff and include some kicking as we go. So that's our plan for right now. So very first things, hey, now how are you? Didn't see you pop in there. First things, let's take a bow. Chariot. Kyungye. Take one. Next, from there, just take a parallel stance. We want the hands nice and relaxed, and we're just shooting from here. And we're looking for that, you know, Jedi Sith Master, all that kind of stuff. We're going nasty. Let the hands shoot. All we want to do is avoid tension. From here, let it out. Once again, let it out. And again, 12 repetitions in your own time, just from there. I almost want just the shoulder joint itself to stop the movement. You're not slowing it down or bracing it against anything. We want it to go to the end in full speed. Next bit, we're creating a backward motion, just one hand at a time, okay? So the idea is just enough tension so that your hand will swing by your hip as you go here. So we have back, forward, back, forward, back, and do 6. And we just want to figure out where we pick up the tension. And then, of course, we do the other hand.
That's it, and try and send it straight from the hip. So try not to pick the hand up under the shoulder, the armpit. Send it straight from the hip.
Okay, so we're looking to have it just accelerate, 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 and only clench and great tension right at the end. So this time we're going left-handed if you're, with your left hand if you're right-handed, with your right hand if you're left-handed. So you use your off hand. And from here, we want to raise and change the hands, drop. So what we need to have happen here is as we raise, we have a full alternation of the hands, completely changing your position in the air, and then we drop and we finish it. And the whole point of this one is extension. We want to use the full range of movement. Okay, so the principle here is the longest line of action gives us the longest time to accelerate. So here we go. 12 of these with your bad hand.
That's it. Even take a bit of time on the raise. Take just a little bit of extra time on the raise that you have the contrast.
A little bit of a chance to work in your breath as well. And maybe mine is still a little long, but we want to shorten that breath and very short and tight. Now the opposite hand, we go 10 times, okay? C-Jack. So here, opposite hand.
Yeah, take just a little bit of extra time on the raise, then you have on the drop. There should be a contrast.
Can you drop
there.
faster? Okay, we're going back to that non-dominant hand again. So a couple of things to check. So if I'm punching to the middle, my knuckles and the front of my toes should be in a straight line. So as I go back, I shouldn't be smashing bob, they should be there. So we try, this is a great exercise to try, say, a small distance from a wall. See if you've got it good. But from here, I want to pull back and explode. So we want to land hands, feet, eyes, breath together and I have to completely extend the other hand and try to have everything happen in the last couple of inches. So let's do 8. Si chak. Kick the foot to the floor.
That's it. So bring that front foot back as little as possible. So you don't want to bring it right back.
So try not to hang and wait for a long time. Try to be back and then explode in. And as I said, kick the foot forward to the floor if it helps you to get the acceleration into your head. On to the other side, we do 8 times. Let's go, once again. Good effort, go on. Okay, now we have to struggle for space a little bit. We go Sajju Charugi, okay? So foot erection punch, we find a little space, but all the acceleration we've just focused on has to be present in the movements now. So let's see how we go. Chunbi. Si tak.
That's it, going from the relaxed to then you explode.
Okay, so these patterns, these fundamental exercises and movements, they change in their nature for you. They're not a challenge for you anymore. They're an opportunity to practice and get your body tuned up for the harder stuff to follow. So use them that way. Now this time, I want you to do the exact same thing, okay, in terms of foot erection punch, but I want you to do one more extra bit with it, okay? So I want you to focus on getting a little hip movement with your low blocks. So when you're pivoting, come back to here, hold off on the hip movement until you're kicking your foot back, and that will bring your hip around a little bit into the movement. So it's weight, and as I kick my foot back, my hip rotates a little. That gives me some power. So let's have a look, everybody. Straight through foot erection punch, adding in that little extra factor of the hip there. Si jack. Oh. Go on, Jess. Yes, so realize everybody's got a little bit of a struggle for space. So at the very least, next week we should be able to offer a lot more space for everybody to train in. Okay. So here's our next bit. Hopefully once you're done. Sorry, I have at least 2 punches left for people to do. And 1, 2, and last one. Okay, before we go on to the next patterns, we're going to just 10 knuckle push-ups. Okay, and then you can join me on the next exercise. So 10 push-ups first, let's go. Good, 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 let's go. Right, and I love to have these elbows close here. Okay, for the next part, we're going to do a couple of sets of push-ups, 5 seconds down, boom. Straight back up, okay? If you're struggling on the way back up, yes, we could warm up, but I want nice and slow, 5 seconds down. But there is something I want. I'll stand for this one. I want the hands close, so this way, and they're going to come beside your body like this, so that you're going to have your hand coming back like this. We'll show you on the ground. Nice and close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here. And then we come up. So, join me, we're going to do 6 of them, 5 seconds down, 1 second up. All set? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3,
That's it, still
4,
keeping that control,
5.
even as you get into the last few.
Good. Okay. Taking a little stretch on the shoulders, I want you to put your hands behind you, like this, and shuffle the hands back, the hips forward, until you're as far as you can go, really. And from there, lift the chest to put a stretch on the shoulder.
If you flex your shoulders, it might end up being like your elbows or something.
Yeah, that's definitely a fact. You can also ease into it, shuffle forward like that. And change. On your knees, facing the front, still focusing on the hands and wrists. We're going to put the 2 hands, fingers forward. We're going to lean forwards over them, putting our weight forwards and getting a little stretch in the wrist this way. And I'll take you through some other ones as well. So just want to get plenty of weight on it. Then we come back, turn your hands backwards. From here, we're going to lean back this way. So my fingers are pointing at my knees, and I'm leaning back into it. And change from there, 2 more stretches. So we have 1 in the front, so we're going for perfect stretch here. Squeeze the backside, lift the hip. Okay, we're going to push the hip forward towards your heel. That's really important. Forwards towards the heel. Now, from there, we're going to be bringing this elbow, the one on the same side as the knee, to the floor. Okay, so right down. And you should feel the stretch in the upper hamstring, so right up near your butt. And a small change to that in just a second. So now I want you to take the opposite elbow, reach the floor, and then open up the chest and reach away. And then we come back down. So when you feel like you can't reach any further out, come back over, touch the floor. Just repeating a few times. And back. Change, other leg, last one. So squeeze the butt, push forward a little bit into this one, and then down towards your heel.
That's it, don't rest too, don't kind of lean on the front leg, Fionn. Try to keep the body up tall with a bit of tension on the glutes. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the same time.
Excellent. Same side elbow down to the ground. And now we're talking about the other elbow. So we're going to go elbow down and then up, opening out the body, and repeat. And relax. Back through the middle and up. Okay, so everyone grab your wall. Grab your chair, whatever you use. Grab your bob, I suppose. So we're going to start with side kick. And the goal here is 5 repetitions of hold for 5 lift. Okay, so that's all it is. So we can start off wherever is comfortable, but then we're going to grab the dough buck and lift the leg. So I start off here, for example. After 5 seconds, I'm going to grab the dough buck and lift the leg. And we're going to do that 5 times. Get set. 3, 2, 1, hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back down. Let's go to the other side. So we're going to lift, hold side kick. 1, 2, 3,
And yeah, we're
4,
holding.
5.
We've started already.
Lift. 1, 2, 3,
Our hand is
4,
off now, Fionn.
5. Lift.
Yeah, so
1,
lift and
2,
then take the hand off.
3, 4, 5. Lift.
Yeah, use
1,
use that hand to
2,
pull that leg higher.
3, 4, 5. One more, sure.
Yeah, lift.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back down. Okay, so for the next one, we're just going for the stretch. We're going to take a turning kick chamber and lift the knee. So it works like this. Up, lift, pull the knee, and we're just working that chamber, pulling the knee high. Lift that up, pull it back. Okay, keep with it. Lift it, pull it back, lift it, pull it back, and hold, and relax. Let's do the other side. So again, same thing, turning kick chamber. We want to lift it first, and pull it back. Oopsie. We lift it again. Get a little taller. Pull it back. Lift it again. Pull it back. Once again, lift. And pull it back. And down. Okay, get rid of your chair. So, like I said, we're going to focus initially, even after the warm-up, some hand techniques. And I'm hand-picking a few things with different kinds of stepping movements to try and emphasize the sine wave. So very first thing is very simple. I want a continuous motion, low block and rising block for, all the way to, actually, sorry, nobody here needs that. So we'll have X-fist pressing block to in vertical punch. That's all the way to black belt, and black belts are going to take X-fist downward block followed by reverse knife hand rising block. Okay, so the first things being for the pressing, about shoulder high, explosively across the body, this way, relaxing, raising, dropping. So we need to create rotation this way, and then out and in. Pinkies out, down, pinkies in, and forward. And of course, the black belts are fairly familiar with this one. 12 repetitions, let's go. Good, let's see what we got. Okay, we got to start with the hands level. Make sure we don't unbalance top or bottom. Good. Yeah, and this is finishing one fist away. Don't show me the flat of the hand. The hand needs to be about 45 degrees here to make the, oh sorry, you couldn't see that. Hand needs to be 45 degrees here to make contact. Don't show me the hand flat. Okay.
Yeah, make sure we get the rotation on that second one.
Okay, and our sine wave from here needs to be down, up, down, not down, forward, back. So, and then here, down, look at my back. Okay, rather than one. Okay, so that's a change. We need to make sure that we're dropping the hips through the middle. That strong position. Okay, hips through the middle. 1, 2. Because however little that we can gain by dropping in terms of our power, a lot of that is through coordination. If we drop and move backwards, it's not great. We're flying backwards then, that's no good, okay? So I can't hit Bob very hard if I'm dropping away from him. I need to be dropping directly down just to connect my heel and let me deliver that punch. Okay, next one. And so we're going for Dosan, the Japio Sauté, and then we'll do Jungun as well. But 2 release from holds for the first couple of color bells, and we'll do another one in a minute. Okay, so first off, this side, I only want you to do 6 repetitions and only with your left hand releasing. So, only on the side it doesn't happen in the pattern. Let's go. So left hand, release. Let's see how you go. Good, find the balance. Yeah, the balance should feel a little bit different. No right side ching, that's too easy. Do the left side. Cheater.
Yeah, there for that.
Go
Since
on.
I told you he's in the middle, Sam.
That's the effort, Sam.
Center line.
Yeah. Good. And the back fist will prepare here. Yeah, it is lower. Okay, then say the outer forearm high block. So it's going to prepare at the floating ribs and then come up. Okay. Here's the next one. Jungun Japio Sauté. Okay, so we have from here the back fist in L stance. We have to relax the hand at the back hip to let us release, turning the knuckles down towards the knee as I move, and then the high punch in fast motion. So I have body weight directly forward, hand down. From here, this position, directly raise drop into the high punch. Again, this one, do 4 each side. 4 left, 4 right. Let's go. Try not to create too much tension. Good. And particularly with these short movements, try to shorten your breath. So short exhale, allow the inhale. Okay, we're going to practice the Japio Sauté in Hwarang on both sides. So we're going to have our Gonansugi Hyunde Apjarugi for shortening. So from here, my hand is caught, I'm shortening my stance. Now, see, I don't know if you can see the line here. The distance between my toes, I'm cutting in half. I'm turning both feet 45 degrees. I'm taking the majority of my weight onto my back leg. My front arm bends 45 degrees. My fingers cover my knuckles. From that position, I'm ready, but my partner hasn't moved. My opponent hasn't moved. They're still holding the hand here. And from that position, I get tall, side piercing kick, and knife hand strike. So that's what I want you to practice. And in particular, this rhythm, when you get to here, don't start leaning back. Lift your knee, and from that position, you kick and pull the hands at the same time, okay? So we're going to pull the hands back to the hip and kick at the same time. And I want you to practice it on the opposite side. Which is the challenge for the black belts. Okay, so Sam, only do it with your, actually, everyone can do this both sides. Do 4 on each side, please. Go. Something new to try, if you haven't already. Yes, Tarnesh, that looks sharp. Come on. Go on, Maeve, let's see it. 1.
Yeah, so I'll be with the right side, Fionn, yeah, that's the job.
Yes.
Definitely a walking stance there.
And keep the hands here until the knee lifts. When the knee lifts, then I can bring them all together. Straightening out the leg, pulling the hands back. Because we're still thinking in terms of the opponent who's holding my hands here. Don't give them a chance to add tension, add resistance. It all happens at the same time. Okay. That's the idea. And we're still landing out of that side kick with knife hand strike. So the other thing that we need to work on is our recovery, right? So we're here. And if I lay back too far, I don't recover properly. Yeah? I'm going to have to do some weird flick over. So that's not good. So, next one. So we're going to go up into some of our pulling motions are short motions, okay? We've already had one there from Jungun and from Hwarang. But now, I want you to have from Chungmu, okay? We're going to go Dwijabun Songkut Najundi Chulgi into the Dungshmuk Yaptui Terigi. So we're going here. And then we go on the opposite side. But finish and then pull. And then we're going to do a black belt one immediately after. So let's go. Yeah. Sam, Fionn in particular, and Etna. Yeah, let's have a good look at this one. I want to finish fully and then pull. There's no sine wave here because I'm going from lower to higher. I'm just pulling the foot and going directly. And so the rhythm's going to change. So when you do it in the pattern, and 1, and 2, 3, and 4, the rhythm changes. Yeah. And 1, 2, and 3. So let's try that together. Just do 4 more, where we have 1, 2, and 3. What happens a lot of the time is people change their rhythm after the bit that's out of rhythm. So if our normal rhythm is 1, relax, 2, relax, 3, and then you have 4.
That was better.
All of a sudden.
That was better.
Yeah, the rhythm kind of changes and people start to rush the bit afterwards, okay? Yes. So ease into your normal sine wave and drop. Okay. So we're going to add a little kicking to this one, and we're going to Kwangye. We're going to have a side pressing kick, side piercing kick, down into knife hand inward strike, and then pulling to a downward strike with side fist. So for all of the color belts, here's the deal, okay? We're going to start in Momosugi, so we have our feet together, okay? You can extend your left hand and kick to the right, but the idea is that we have pressing kick without turning the bottom foot. Then I go side piercing kick. 1, 2, relax, 3. And from there, staying on top, I pull the foot back and I hit down onto the collarbone with the side of my fist, okay? So one more time, I'm standing here, I go pressing, piercing, inward strike, down. Try it please. Let's try that 5 times on each side. Yeah? Pressing kick, piercing kick, knife hand, down. I'll show it this way. So we're here, pressing kick, piercing kick, knife hand, down. Yeah? Get that feeling. Hit with it.
Yeah. Can you reduce the time then? So after you've kind of held that pressing kick for a moment, getting that knee back and getting the side kick to happen is what we want. Nice and sharp. So we stick that pressing kick and then knee back, boom, side kick. Nice and sharp with that knee recovery.
Yeah. Now take your time with the kicks as much as needed right now. When you get to it in the pattern, you can go very quick, like directly. So you can have 1, 2. They can be even a little quicker. But you have to finish both kicks. So there's no one back. It's pressing. So it has to finish. Yeah, just like a side kick normally does. 1, 2. This kind of idea. But then there's a change in rhythm. Okay?
1, 2, and 1, 2.
All right, and now a few bits from Juche, because Juche is fun. And then we're going to go into some sparring work. So here's what we have from Juche. We're going to be doing a stamp with a knife hand, or sorry, a cross cut, a high cross cut. Here, this way, into sitting stance cross cut. And from there, we're going to pivot on the ball of the toes and deliver an elbow to the angle. Bring your hand against the side fist like this, look. So I have my stamp and a high cross cut. So it's like a knife hand strike, very little difference, but we're actually trying to just hit across the eyeballs. And from there, I don't come up, I just pivot and I hit with the elbow here, turning to the angle. So I'm turning from sitting stance to walking stance as I come up. Okay, let's try that. Okay, so we're stamping. 1 and 2. 1 and 2.
That's the job
Excellent.
thing, yeah.
Try not to raise, drop so much as you've dropped, raise, and then you're done. That's it. We're just coming from lower to slightly higher. Very slightly higher. This is all about pivot, rotation, in we go. So I've hit opponent here. Now Bob gets it. In the eyes, elbow in the face. Okay, staying with Juche. Knife hand guarding block, jump turn into knife hand strike, but it's mid-air. That means we finish it in mid-air. And I was actually only watching a couple of highlight bits from some very good competitors, but this is a weird one. Some of them are very, I was looking at Ryan O'Neill actually, and a little bit cagey on this. And like that guy he can kick, he can jump, he can do everything. He's a superstar, he's really good. But this just to me looks a little tame for his level. So what I'm looking for you to do is attack this turn. So in other words, finish here, and then land into your L stance with a soft elbow, okay? So we're attacking it, finishing it in midair, arm completely straight, and then I'm done. So I just relax my arm when I land. Knife hand guarding block, and don't have the extra 2 bounces when you land, please. Go for it. I want this one 4 times on each side. 5 if you're feeling good, 6 if you're feeling great. Yeah, finish it up high. Bring those knees up. Here's my faithful assistant, Bob. Yeah, I finish it nice and high in the air. Yeah, Ching. That's the idea, Etna.
Let the
If
knees
you
come up,
defy gravity a little bit more, bring those knees up. Good effort, Fionn, but lift the knees higher. Have a look here. I don't want to have my legs hanging low because this happens. They get wrapped around each other, okay? So they're down like this. Have a look at this. Here's our example, right? See my fingers? This is what we're trying to avoid. I don't want that feeling that my fingers are getting twisted or twisted here. These are my legs. I don't want to do that. I want to pick up my 2 legs and turn here where the legs are far apart. Because once I pick up my knees, my feet are far apart. They're not going to tangle up with each other. So it's up, boom, and then I can come down. It's also going to be easier to land in that L stance because my feet are almost in the right place all automatically. Oops. You'll still get it wrong every now and again. Something like that.
You also feel like you have more time when you pick up the knees. You don't feel like you have to try and rush the knife hand. You jump and bring the knees up. It feels like there's loads of time to fit that knife hand in.
Cool.
Yeah, not bad, Phil.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah, that was better, Sam. That was
One
better than
last
your first
one.
few. Good man.
Still thinking hands. One final jump. Still from Juche. We're going to start with our parallel stance, okay? And we're going to be jumping, delivering a punch and an upset punch as we go forwards and land in close stance, okay? So we're actually in this position. Again, another cross cut inward. With my right hand here, I'm going to go 1 L stance forward, give or take. 1, 2. And I'm going to save my reaction hand mostly for the second one. So from here, I want my reaction hand mostly on the second one. Try 4 with your right, 4 with your left. I don't think I've ever practiced this in my left, so we're going to see how it goes. Yeah, this feels new again.
Yeah, so the feet start apart,
Yeah.
finish together. Yeah, starting with them apart, finish with them together.
Great way to put yourself back into a learning mindset. One, 2. 1, 2. 1. So it comes back. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay.
You've got a viewer.
Okay, so we're going into some sparring ideas. And what I want to work on at the moment is some push-pull and some split rhythm in terms of movements carrying from forward to backwards with some split rhythms. So we're going to start with a short blitz. So in other words, we're starting with the kind of blitz where maybe my opponent has kicked to me, I've moved just out of range, and I only need to move that much to get in. So I've moved out of range, maybe shortened up here, and it's just really a short hop and I'm landing in this position. So we're going to have that, okay, and then our front legs come back out. So we have back, forward, back. We start in close again. Back, forward, back. This way. So I want you to try that just 12 times each side just to really get a nice rhythm and flow. And that is the purpose of this session, right? Just to get a nice rhythm and flow in your back to forward to back, find a nice balance. Let's go. So yeah, in close. And yes, when you don't have someone or something to hit, it doesn't feel as good. I know, but we're going to try anyway. So we have that back, forward, back. Back, forward, back. This way. That's it, Fionn. Handy to have the bob there. Back, forward, back. Back, forward, back.
Yeah, we're going to use the front leg, Fionn. Just the distance makes it a little bit nicer for the front leg. Just get that lean back.
Yes.
The blitz has got you close. So to try and get the back leg in, you'd have to make much more distance. But you just want to have the kick as you come back. So the front leg works nicer.
Good. How are we getting on now, folks? 4 or 5 to go. Back, forward, back.
There you go.
Okay, for our next one, we're going to be going forwards. We're going to use the back fist. We're going to come back with a defensive side kick, and then we're going to go forwards once again with the back fist. So it's just really all staying very sideways for this one. So our first one doesn't have to make contact. All I want to do is reach here, make some space, even to the body, just as a test. And then I go back, and then the idea is that I'm going forwards this way. And it can be like a blitz with the back fist. So I'm test the body, side kick, and then I go with the front hand once again. So we have forwards, back, and forwards. Okay, this one 8 times each side. Let's see how we go. So our forwards is just a test here to the body to invite, and in we go again. Change the direction, change the direction. Go for it. Good, good, good. So that forwards, back, forwards. This way. Tick tock tick. That's it, immediate. So we have our test, cover, boom, and in we go. Good. Really, I know when you don't have someone to hit, but try really put into the imagination that test, boom, here, boom, boom, and directly in again. Okay, and of course you could add an escape or something onto it, but we'll leave that for a second. Next one. This one we go forward, forward, back. Okay, so I'm looking for a test forward, so it can be bringing the leg this way. It can just be a test here, or a test showing the shoulder. We need a little test going forwards. From there, I'm going to short step with my back foot. So the test happens, and then I'm going to immediately shorten my step with the back foot. I throw a high hook kick, and then I'm going to recover, okay? So I have my test here, shorten, and I recover. So we have test, shorten, and recover. So we're moving here, test, shorten, and recover, okay? So the feeling is definitely, my head is still here. Nothing is changing as I do this. And I sneak the shot up, ideally over the blindside shoulder. So if I was lining up and bob this way, my test gets me here. Our eye contact stays the same as I sneak up over the blindside shoulder, okay? Let's try that one 6 times each side. Let's go. Good, really thinking. Try and imagine the cheekiest teenager you've ever met, right? Can't be one of you. But the cheekiest teenager you ever met, and you just want to give them like a cop on, okay? That's what we're looking for. If you need to drop it down, give them 10 or 12 years, whatever, like, but just that kind of feel. So we have that test, and away we go again. I can only imagine how satisfying it would be to do this barefoot in the back of my head, okay? Because this lad is bald, and it's just it's a beautiful feeling. I gotta tell you, wrapping your foot around the back of his head is nice now. Oh, let's see how it feels on the face. Might be a bit different. Well, it's not bad either, actually. Good effort. And we are looking for that bent leg pop. Reach, slap, job done.
And it even can kind of come up in that kind of side kick position to start. And then you whip around then kind of around the guard and onto the head.
Okay. So for our next one, we're going to go much shorter steps in between, some short rhythms. So the first bit that I'm looking for is, I'm going to turn, bob a little here. We're going to step in, potentially blocking down the side kick, boom. And we want the backhand onto the body here. So this is where you might aim chest, you might aim solar plexus, it depends on the shape they give you. But if they're bringing their leg up like this, for example, and you're stepping through onto it, you're probably going to go chin, okay? So this could come to the head. But if it's, for example, you're stepping through on the back leg, or that you've managed to take their leg down with a little bit of a check, and they're landing this way, then it's really nice to get into the body, and there's a good reason for that. We can get a bit of momentum, okay? So I can get into the body, and boom, I can get them moving, but the referee's not going to stop for excessive contact or anything nasty like that. So what I'm looking for is that my first shot takes me in here, a little shift, I go to the body, and I pull my foot back, and then we go here. So I'm here, small shift, here, all the way, here. Everything is with the right. Right hand, right leg, right leg. Try it a few times, and then we'll amp it up. So we're looking to have boom, small shift, boom, boom. And you might even, after the turning kick, want to make a little shift as well. Yes. That's it, Maeve. Yes. And we can keep the hips quite square for this turning kick. Boom, boom, here. Bah. And then up we go. Yeah. So, by keeping the hips this way, we've checked 1, boom, 2, 3. We can feel pretty good about letting go. Give me 5 on each leg. 6 on each leg. Go on. Let it roll. I have just enough time to squeeze in one more. Go on, folks. That's it. We want that little bit of push and pull, push and pull.
Yeah, and the band-aid, Dolly Shaggy, if you try to place it and overthink it, it doesn't feel the same. You have to just let it whip round. This one isn't technical. You don't have to focus on keeping the legs straight at the finish. Just let it whip round.
Okay, the last one is for fun. So we're going over the blindside shoulder with the question mark kick, or any of the other names that this thing gets called. So I have my friend here, and I'm coming from same leg in front. He's got left, I've got left. I'm coming over his shoulder this way, and now I'm quite close. I need to make some space with my half back kick, half side kick kind of feeling. Or if you're feeling, you know, hey, I feel quite nice about this, I can arrive in the same position here and meet them coming back up the other way as well. But we're going all the way in forwards, making a big step forwards before coming back. So let's try that one, folks. Over their shoulder, blind side, up, this way. Okay, we have to sneak it over the top. So I'm going to miss his head this time. Here, and then we can come the other way. Yeah.
Think about
if
getting
this is
the
feeling
instep.
good,
You need to get the instep pointed towards the floor. Think about that's how you're turning.
I'm going to try and get my knee to Bob's stump. Okay, so poor old Bob here, he's armless, but we have to get to the stump with the knee before dropping over the top. So I've got to disguise this and hide the foot's movement. Okay, it's not from back here and clipping the top of his head. I want aggressive knee forward, knee to stump, and I come this way. Bum. And then into the armpit on the way out. Good, let's have a look, Sean, over the shoulder. Okay, still a little loose and long, so watch this.
And you're doing this with the toes pointed up. You need
Even
to
if we're super flexible,
think about hitting
I don't
the
want
pad
to
with the
have
instep.
boom,
So
this feeling.
down. Boom.
It's a different thing, it's easier for him to block. I want to go through the middle, as if I'm going to do a front kick. Boom, here. But then I just change my hip. And it's because the body's in this position in the beginning. They don't think they have to protect here. So the body's here. And then it's here. And I can just go whoop over the top. Go random directions. Yeah, you will end up facing backwards. It's kind of weird. But if he was moving away, I can also continue to stretch after him this way. And it's a really awkward one to counter. All right, so hold it there. Folks, we are going to finish there for tonight. Wednesdays with Mr. Williams, and we'll see what he has planned for you. But our plan, hopefully as we get to next week, is outdoors, treating it almost like the preseason. We've got to get these bodies back to where they were beforehand. We've got to build up a lot of our base level endurance, our basic muscular endurance. We can get out in the agility work. We can start jumping and putting out some power in terms of our plyometrics and that stuff again. So I'm really looking forward to trying some of that stuff. And of course, we can do patterns and some of our technical stuff in full out in the open where you don't have to stop every half a step and shuffle backwards. So looking forward to that. See you on Wednesday. Chariot. Take one. Thanks, folks. See you next time.
You're welcome. No worries.
Yeah.
We'll see you.
Thanks, folks.